What's up, YouTube? Steve at the Whiskey Watch, standing here next to my good buddy,
Sniff of ScotchNSniff. What? Hats?
I was going to say it. But
Oh, I beat him to the punch. I'm Sniff of ScotchNSniff, this dude right here.
I'm
This
a
is the
horrible
Whiskey Watch.
co-host. I'm a horrible co-host.
He's
I'll
doing a
just
great
walk
job
off.
today. So today, this is a video. This has been a long time coming. I've thought about this video a million times. But it's basically going to be local...
Say the word that you told me. You sold me.
Local yokels. Local yokels. Sorry, I'm a hillbilly apparently from the middle of West Virginia, West by God, Virginia. So, anyways, today we're going to be talking about
West Virginia.
Local stuff. So me living in the DC metro area, I think that's why I call local DC, Maryland, Virginia, DMV, which everybody in this area knows. But outside of this area, people are like, "What are you talking about?"
And from the Philadelphia area, I actually have a bunch here from across Pennsylvania, and interestingly enough, one that kind of originated in Ireland. So we'll get to that. So you want to start, and we'll work our way to the middle.
Let's
alternate.
Sure. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to start right here. This one's only got dust on it because it's covered in sweetness and it's so good.
Because Wally never drinks.
Yeah, actually, this is my second bottle of this. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know my second love after whiskey is definitely rum. And it's not that I have a rum problem. Wait, this is how that starts. I feel like there's 12 steps coming. Anyways, there's
acknowledge you have a problem.
there's a local distillery called Lyon, and I love them for their rum. I've tried their rye. We'll get there. But their rum and a lot of the other distillates they're coming out with are fantastic. This rum is like this. So it's weird that you're talking about Mandarin oranges 5 seconds ago. If you want to talk about like heavy in the Mandarin oranges, like Mandarin orange syrup, this rum is it right here. And they've got other things too, but again, their rum just specifically their dark rum. I should be clear. They have like 4 different rums. Not a fan of all of them, but this one is super, super good.
I thought this was a whiskey video.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, I didn't mean to start out with rum, but it is a distillate. And the people who make it, Jamie and her boyfriend, they're super, super nice people. They're great. And they will literally, they've come to events, they've had fun, and they're just super nice.
That's cool.
And local.
That's one of the best things I think about local distilleries.
Yeah, you can go there.
The people are amazing. You can go there. You can tell them what you think of their whiskey. They're not going to get super snotty about the response.
Absolutely.
In some cases, if you're a famous guy like this guy, take your advice. Anyway, moving on.
As famous as people who pick their noses can go.
This is actually something that stunned me. This is Pinot Bourbon from a small distillery in Pennsylvania. It's called 8 Oaks, veteran run.
Cool.
Farm to distillate? It's not farm to table,
farm
really,
to bottle?
but farm to bottle, I guess. I was actually able to go tour this with one of my friends, taste the grain, the barley,
Very cool.
Go through the entire process with them. This is such a drying dram. Like it sucks all the moisture out of your
tannic.
Yeah, it takes all the moisture out of your mouth, and it stunned me when I had it the first time. So I had to buy a bunch of bottles.
So
give
is
a
it
bunch
wine
of bottles
cask?
to friends.
Wine cask finished or aged?
It is a Pinot barrel that they end up putting it in, and it's fantastic.
That's where the tannins are coming from.
Yeah, I brought Wally a sample of that for him to try it later. He'll get to it 2 years from now. But
it's only funny because it's true.
It is true. He probably still has samples I gave him 3 years ago when we first met.
It's only funny because it's true.
Yes. So what's your next one here?
Right on. So right here in DC, we've got OneEight Distilling, who comes out with really, really cool whiskey experiments that they do. So their Untitled Whiskey line is basically just a bunch of whack job experiments. This one especially speaks to me because it was whiskey that they made, and then they took the whiskey out of the barrels, then they put coffee beans in the barrels, and then they took the coffee beans out of the barrels, and then they put the whiskey back in the barrel, and then they put the whiskey in the bottle. And it is baller.
It sounds complicated, but it's...
Yeah, it's essentially coffee cask finished whiskey. Is that a thing? They just call it Untitled, so...
Actually, we'll get to a coffee thing later on through this lineup. So let me go to this guy here. This is a bit of a weird one. So it's sitting right next to something from New Liberty Distillery, which I'll get to in a minute. But this Brothership
like the
whiskey,
mothership?
No, not like that at all.
Oh.
No. This is 10-year-old American whiskey mixed with 10-year-old Irish whiskey. And this is one of the creamiest, it's almost like drinking Bailey's, except without all the milk and whatever. I don't know.
Corny Baileys.
This, not even that corny, honestly. It's terrific whiskey, and I bought probably the last few bottles that were available in Pennsylvania because I enjoyed it so much.
Oh wow!
Anyway, it's a very cool collaboration between Brothership and I think it's Connacht. I probably butchered the name of that, but it's tremendous.
Yeah.
And Wally forgets that he had it at the coffee event that his buddy ran, but he did have it before. He just can't remember.
Did I like it then?
I believe so.
Well, then I'll like it again. I drink a lot of whiskey. It's hard to keep track sometimes. I try to write everything down. It's still hard to keep track sometimes.
It doesn't always work.
Another local yokel right here. If you live in Maryland, you already know what's going on here. So Sagamore Spirit, started by Kevin Plank of the Under Armour fame, KP, and he decided he wanted to start a distillery, and here we are. This is it. We get Sagamore Spirit, which is interesting for a lot of reasons, but right now it's still MGP. That's allegedly cut with water from Sagamore Farms in Maryland to make what we're making here. So, right. I mean, this one's pretty good. It's Muscatel finished. What they're putting out right now, it still tastes like MGP to me. So I will reserve judgment for when they are making their own whiskey now.
And we all know you love MGP.
Yeah, we'll wait till, I mean, the light, that's about it. We'll wait till they put out whiskey that's really, really their own and aged here, and we'll see what happens with it. Because I think it'll probably be good.
Yeah. So this is from New Liberty Distillery. It's Bloody Butcher. The name's a little interesting.
It's a weird name.
But let me tell you what, for 9 months, which is what this is aged, this is fantastic. This is the first bottle I've actually purchased. I've gotten many, many drams of various bottles and batches at one of my favorite restaurants in Pennsylvania. This is tremendous whiskey. And New Liberty has kind of split up their lines. This is all their own juice. They do have a line called Kinsey that is MGP sourced. I think they picked the mash bill and then picked the barrels, or they might just pick the barrels. If you're watching New Liberty or Kinsey, comment below and tell me. But anyway, this is fantastic bourbon. Odd name aside.
Yeah, that's a super weird name.
Yeah. Just what you want in your bourbon, blood. Never. Never.
Blood finished bourbon? Has that been done?
Let's not put that idea in somebody's mind.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But still curious if you do it, DM me.
Yeah, put it in the DMs, not the comments below. Because people will definitely judge you.
And then also from the DMV area, we've got Virginia Distilling Co. I have a funny relationship with Virginia Distilling Company.
He loves Scotch, hates them.
Their first few offerings couldn't get into. Their port cast finish. I love port.
He loves whiskey.
Yeah,
Marriage made in heaven.
Their port cast finish is not what I'm looking for in life, unfortunately. But what they did do is they did something totally right with this cider cask. So the cider cask finish was the first of theirs that I really, really enjoyed so much that obviously I bought 2 bottles of this, but it's totally good. And I really, really enjoy it for all the notes that are in it. It doesn't have, there's some weird funk that's in their port cast finish stuff that I just can't get into or behind. And because of that, I avoid pretty much their other bottles, just being 1,000% honest. They know this. I am good friends with their brand ambassador. I talk to her all the time about this. So they're well aware of what's going on there. But a lot of people do seem to love their port cast finish stuff. So if you're looking for that, you'll probably love it. It's a mashup of Highland, I believe. Wait, they source their They source their barley from. Yeah, so barley. That's what they get. Though it's whiskey from Scotland married with Virginia whiskey distilled from malt mash. So it's stuff they have here plus whiskey from Scotland mashed together into this bottle. So they just do different cask finishes and they come out interesting. So, but the cider cask is one that, like, if you've got a palate like mine, this hits a nice sweet spot. That's pretty good.
Very nice. This bottle right here, Manatoni Pennsylvania whiskey. Manatoni is doing some fantastic things. They have special batches of kind of experiments. They just released a peated version that even my peat hating friend here would appreciate. I brought him a sample of that so you can try it in 3 years. They did a port aged one.
Okay.
They did something close to a rye, but not really. They took a whiskey and put coffee in it. Fantastic. They also did a honey whiskey, which
that sounds good, actually.
I'm not a huge fan of honey whiskey at all, but if you're gonna do it, at least use real honey, which is what they did, and I appreciate that. Their distiller Max actually used to work for a brewery, got pulled away from the brewery by the owners and said, "Hey, distill us some whiskey. So he started from scratch
Cool.
on distilling, and he is coming up with some fantastic products.
Cool.
I guess the next one mine in the middle. This is a rye that I just got introduced to by No Bad Whiskey, who's a fellow Pennsylvania-based Instagrammer. He posted this on his page, and it caught my eye. I decided to go give it a shot. It's expensive, but I kind of expect that for a local. This is from the Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania, and according to the write-up on the bottle, their namesake, George Wiggle, I believe, was part of the Whiskey Rebellion way back right after the Revolutionary War, and was actually pardoned by George Washington, I think. So they've got an interesting story. I don't know how much of it's true, but the juice is actually pretty good. And that's why Wally was mentioning mandarin oranges earlier in this video, is because I'd cracked the bottle and tasted it, and he's getting some serious mandarin orange flavor on it.
Which I usually only get from rums like this one, but here we are.
And here we go back to the rums. This is a whiskey channel, my friend. That's what you pulled me down here
There's
for.
so many
let's get
good
back
rums.
to it. Okay.
Oh my goodness, can we talk about Navasas Palazzi though? All right, so
sugar cane aside.
do you guys have some local distilleries that you absolutely love in your area that you think have awesome whiskeys? If you do, post them down below, and we'll try to find some. I think that'll be a fun game, especially picking up different things from different parts of the country.
And maybe weigh into, like, how do you feel about some of these places sourcing, say, some MGP bottles while they get their own stuff aged?
Online, yeah.
Comment about that, too. Does that disturb you? Is that something you're okay with as long as they disclose it? Let us know, because that interests me quite a bit.
Yeah, that's always weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, like, comment, subscribe, Patreon, we got the tip jar. Steve, where can we find you?
The Whiskey Watch on Instagram.
On the Instagrams. And that's it. Man, this is...
Wiggle Rye.
Man, it's pretty good. I'm really surprised. Yeah, there's this, like...
Don't be surprised. It's delicious.
Sweet roundness on the sides.
Yeah. We'll share it with Jason
I expected it to be a little more creamy, though, because of the Irish, but no, it's pretty good.
And sorry, this video was so boring, apparently, that our cameraman fell asleep on the couch. He'll get some whiskey later.
It's because he's tried all these whiskeys. Let's be serious.
Yeah, let's be serious.
He's a connoisseur. The real connoisseur is behind the camera.
He is. He doesn't want to be on camera, but